Hello, who have we got in here? Welcome in here. Hope you're doing well tonight. Hope you've all had a good day today. Hello, who have we got in here? Welcome in. Hope you've had a good day today. Alright, maybe I should just get into a workout or something. So yeah, what's everybody up to tonight? So I've just been thinking about like the travels and stuff again, and like I was thinking about like maybe I should get myself a USB charger, because when I was on the bus I noticed that you had to like it had to be a USB charger. The one I've got for my phone, it wouldn't work because it's not the right type of plug thing. It's like, so yeah, so I'm gonna have to look at getting a USB charger. So hopefully that would work, because then I can just charge it whilst on the bus, and I can just keep having power whilst I'm on the go, and I can just yeah. So that would be good. So I'd have that sorted out. The other thing was like, hello to you, Trains Plane 747. How you doing tonight? Welcome to my live. Make sure you share this out if you can. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the live. Thank you for the like, whoever that is. If you've got any questions, put them in the chat. That'd be really appreciated. Good, that's good then. What's your name, by the way? Hello, Speedy. How you doing? Good evening to you. Hope you've had a good day. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. That'd be really appreciated. Yes, I am in the UK as well. How's it going? Whoever this is, NetPie. Yeah, welcome in here. What have you all been up to? Hello, Sunny. Hello, Divi and Shu. How you doing? I don't know what you're saying, sorry. Welcome in anyway. How's it going, Fatima? I'm not in Manchester, I'm in York. I used to live in Blackburn. Why, you were in Manchester? I've been to Manchester a lot though, but yeah. Might perform in Manchester soon, but I don't know. It'd be good if I could get people to come and meet me and do, you know, when I'm doing my busking. It would just be good to have people there to support, but it kind of sucks when you're out on your own and just kind of like stood there, and it can feel, especially when, you know, it's getting a bit, you know, the donations are kind of dry, and it's kind of like you just feel a bit like awkward just standing there on your own. You're hardly doing well, but I don't know. It can be a bit, yeah. Alright, but yeah, what's everybody been up to tonight? Yeah. How long have you been doing YouTube for? I've been doing it for a long time, but I keep kind of like either deleting channels or starting new channels, and I've been doing this one for a while, but yeah, I don't know, it's why? What do you mean, why? I just keep getting like kind of disheartened with it. Like that, it just never ends up getting anywhere really, and I'm like, so I'll just be like, okay, well, I guess I'll just start again, and just like, I don't know. It always feels like it just ends up kind of going nowhere. Like even when it seems to be going somewhere for a while, and then I always seem to kind of plateau and then decline after a while. Like people just, it's like it gets to a point where people have had enough of me, and I'm like, okay, well, it just feels like you're back at square one. So yeah, so a quick drink. I'm going to do 2 pistol squats, I think. So these will work your lower body. So if you want to do like a good, hello Libs and Amber, what's that? Can you what? Hello Uncle Filthy, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope everyone's had a good day today. Yeah. But the thing is, I'm not even bothered about getting rich, to be honest. It's like, I'm just like, I just want enough to be able to be like happy and be able to travel and do things I want to do. To be able to, you know, kind of have a good home to raise a family and things like that when I get round to that. But like, apart from that, I'm not really bothered. I don't need to become some multi-millionaire with like loads of land that I'm just like, I don't need acres of land. I don't need to have a private jet, any of that kind of bullshit. I'm like, why do I need any of that? You know? I don't see the point. It's just excess at that point, isn't it? It's just not necessary. Alright, so I'm going to do pistol squats. I'm going to use this door thing. Hang on. How are we doing it? So I was just thinking about how I'm going to do it. Maybe I should trying to think how we're going to do the pistols. That's good to hear then, Uncle Filthy. Yeah, it's been okay, but actually, to be honest, it's been kind of crap really, but it's not the worst day I've ever had, but yeah, it's just, I don't know, a bit disappointing to be honest, but shit happens. Just trying to, alright, here we go. So just like, do it like this. And then we'll do the same on the other side. What's happening? It doesn't matter. It's just, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, just a good workout always helps me feel better though. You know, once I've like get rid of all that frustration out, you know, then you just feel kind of calm. But you know, such is life. You know, you can't please everybody. And some people are just negative. They always find some way to be negative and put others down. But yeah. Whatever. But on the plus side, I'm very close to getting ads on this channel, so hopefully that will be happening in the next few days. Because very close to 4,000 watch hours. So guys, could you run my playlist? I mean, it might already have got to 4,000. It's just that it said 3,815, but it hasn't counted views from a video that had like 100 watch hours on it. And there's other content as well that's been getting watch hours. So I could very well already be at 4,000 watch hours. So I reckon within the next few days, we're going to be at 4,000 watch hours, guys.
and I can start getting ad revenue, which will add on to my things like super chats and stuff, so I can be fully monetized on here. Yeah, I'm okay, Sonny, but that's something I can focus on and be like, it's gonna be good to see that. So hopefully it'll amount to something this time. Because when I've been monetized in the past, I've made fuck all really, but hopefully it's gonna this time actually, hopefully be decent income. I was watching this video and this guy was talking about he's only just got monetized and he's already making over $1,000 a month. It's like, I wish I could be doing that, you know. Just put out a few videos, get monetized, and then be fucking making over $1,000 a month. Like, that's the dream, isn't it? You know, you're pretty much set up then. You know, you could then add other things onto it. You could do, you know, merch or whatever, and if you want to make a bit more. Like, yeah, you don't really make huge money right away though. Like, it won't be like much for most people at the beginning. Ad revenue usually like a few quid a month at start, but yeah, as long as you're getting a few million views. Yeah, well, that's the thing though. Getting a few million views isn't easy, is it? You know, it's like, it's like very difficult. I mean, I think I looked at my channel. I think I had 100 and something thousand views in total, or something like that, on my channel history. I think, but like last month I've had something like 18,000. So I probably have to get like probably 1 million views a month for it to be really a good amount, but yeah, good luck getting a few million views in a year even, but yeah. Have you ever thought about travelling around the UK coastlines or a few weeks or something? Nah. I mean, it'd be cool doing that, but I don't know. I'd rather vary it up and do more like go around the mountains, go around the forests and different things, and different scenery and stuff. Yeah, Whitby's a nice place. I've been before. Done the 199 steps. Yeah. Anyway. Yorkshire Dales, maybe one day. One thing at a time. You know, I want to do more of the street performing stuff. And I'll just probably try and do the channel as well, but I can only do so much at once. Like, I don't know, but it's just with the street performing, it's just not consistent right now. So maybe it's certain days that are not good, but I thought with it being nice weather today that people might have been generous and wanted to pay, but very few people did. I would be doing singing, but people are just kind of like being assholes today, a lot of them. They just didn't seem to really like it today, I don't know. Maybe they were just not in a good mood, but it's not my problem, you know, if you're miserable, so yeah. I don't know. metal music. I do mixer stuff really. I try to mix things up. Because if I just did metal, then people might not like that. So, yeah. I do mixer stuff, really. I'll do 80s music, I'll do rock music, I'll do punk rock, I'll do whatever, I'll do different things. So, yeah, I'm not really gonna just pigeonhole myself into one thing, It's like, I made a little bit, but it was kind of pathetic, really. I was out for about over an hour and a half. Between an hour and a half to 2 hours, I'm like, this is just kind of not working, really. I was like, okay. And they said that you have to move around after 2 hours anyway, so I'm like, okay, well, it's coming up to that amount of time, and I'm like, well, whatever, I'm going home then. I just had enough. I'm like, this crowd fucking sucks today. And, no, I don't really like Elvis Presley that much, but, yeah. I don't mind a bit of Frank Sinatra and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just, I don't know. See if Mark's and Joe are live. I don't know if they've gone live tonight. Doesn't look like they've gone live yet, so... George Formby, that was an old one as well, wasn't it? Hello Sparky, how you doing tonight? I hope you're well. Alright, I'm gonna do a bit of abs, I think. And I'm just struggling to even be motivated to even work out anymore. I'm just like, it just kind of sucks doing all the same fucking shit. Just trying to like, I don't know, it's like you get into like it for a while and then you're just feeling like, what am I trying to do here? What am I trying to achieve with this shit? I'm just like, I don't know, you just like, you start to just get kind of sick of it and start to resent it and just like, it's like, yeah, I don't mind some bits of it, but like, I don't know, it just feels like Groundhog Day. Yeah, I don't know, I'm just like, I just try to keep my workouts pretty minimal and just try to focus on compound stuff, really. Right. No, I don't play guitar. But yeah, it's just so I've been trying to like, put on size or whatever, but it's like, it feels like no matter how big I get, some people are always gonna think I'm skinny or whatever. It's like, it just kinda, some things about being tall kinda suck. Where it's like, certain exercises are hard because you have all this extra body weight that you're trying to push. So it's like, it just feels kind of like, you get these people doing like the calisthenics. There are always some short guys, if they're doing like the human flag, for example, and it's like, I'd love to be able to do that stuff. I don't think I'd ever be able to do it. I mean, unless I tried my whole life to do it, but I'm just not going to do that. But some people can just naturally be good at a lot of these sort of things, like they can do handstands and shit like that. You see people doing shit like that, I'm like, yeah, I'm never going to be able to do all this stuff, planche, push-ups and all that kind of shit, you know? It's just not happening. Like, I'm not designed for that shit. I wish it was in a way, because, like, it looks cool, that shit, but, like, I don't want to be dedicating so much time just to be able to look cool like that, I guess. It's just not worth it. The return on investment just isn't worth it to me. And the handstands would kind of feel dangerous to me anyway, especially my height and all the weight pushing down, like trying to, you know, if I like collapse and it's all that force, just not, I don't know, I just don't, it doesn't feel safe to me, that kind of shit. I could do like wall handstands to a degree, I guess, but yeah, on any like unsupported handstand, yeah, no, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do that. Yeah, people don't appreciate a lot of the time, like how more difficult it can be for taller people to do certain exercises. Like, I struggle even with things like pull-ups and stuff like that, because you think like when you got the long legs, it's like you have all this dead weight that's, because you're not using your legs when you're doing it, so it's not gonna be a benefit to it. I eat too much food late at night and it's bad for me. I eat too much sugary treats. It's given me a bit of arthritis. What, sugar? I don't know, but yeah, it's just not good to be eating loads of sugar and like, well, refined sugar anyway. There's certain types of sugar that are actually like good for you, but you want to stay away from things like white sugar, and especially like any kind of like refined like sugars, like I do worry about my own health sometimes, but I just ignore it. Yeah, it's not good to ignore it though. Some people say ignorance is bliss, but it's not really, is it? Maybe in the moment it is, but down the line it's like, it's not though, is it? It's like when you ignore the problems, then it's gonna like get worse over time. You know, it's just that the longer you put things off, the more damage gets done. Yeah, fatty liver disease, that's that's not good. Is that from like alcohol, or there's a thing called that non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, but that's, I think, diet related. I think they found that, what was it, high fructose corn syrup was a big culprit or something. I'm not exactly sure, but some were saying it was more just due to like having too much overall body fat. It's probably a combination of like the high fructose corn syrup and just like a high body fat level. So diet related, I don't drink alcohol, right? So yeah, if you have like a lot of like visceral fat, like once you start putting on too much fat, then a lot of it starts to accumulate around your organs, and the thing called visceral fat, there's a thing called subcutaneous fat. So subcutaneous fat is what's beneath the skin. So that's what's visible, like what you can pinch. Whereas visceral fat is like attached to your organs. That can be quite dangerous. It can cause a lot of inflammation, but yeah, as you get fatter and fatter, then more of that starts to accumulate in areas that you don't want, especially for men. Women can get away with having more body fat because they store it differently. They tend to store it away from vital organs unless they start to get really overweight. Yeah, so I'll do a few more of the lateral raises because they're good for like building those wide shoulders. So yeah, I'll just and same the other side. Hello Susanna, welcome back. Yeah, make sure you're getting enough fibre. Alright, so yeah, try and get maybe get some flax seeds or something like that. They're good for fibre. Good for omega-3 as well, but yeah, flax seeds, chia seeds, that sort of stuff. That can help with constipation for some people. I've heard psyllium husk is really good, but that will just like, yeah, it's good if you don't like already have a lot of fibre. If you already have a lot of fibre, you don't really need to add a lot of that stuff. But unless, like I say, if you try to get like omega-3s, they're a good way to get it from plants. But like if you don't eat a lot of fish, then yeah, chia seeds, flax seeds, and walnuts and hemp seeds. Those are probably going to be the best sources that you can get. Anyway. And for some people, they actually do need to have like dietary DHA, EPA, but you either get that from fish or you can actually get it from algae. So yeah. I'm gonna do leg raises, I think. Probably won't be on too long tonight. Alright. Well, something leaking in there. Fuck. Yeah. Wonder if there's a way to add resistance to the leg raises with the bands. I could try something, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I could try. I don't know if there's like a way to. No. Hang on. Just trying to figure out if there's a way to do it. So, because I want to try and make this a bit more challenging. So, not sure like what would work, whether I should try it like kind of no, I don't know. I don't know if anyone's got an idea. Hello, Yogi. Does anyone know how to add resistance to leg raises or crunches or sit-ups with resistance bands? Is there a way to do that, or do you have to use weight to do that? So I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, if say I use this to try and it's like if there's a way to like actually like add some, I don't know, I'm like trying to figure out how you would put the bone round to try and add resistance to it. I know you can do it with squats, but I can't really do it because let's say if I want to do the squats with the resistance band, then it's like I have to like stretch it all the way like that and it could just end up snapping. I'm like, it's not really a good idea. The only way I was able to really do it was like doing it this way, where you kind of put it on your fucking hell, like this. And you use that to kind of give it some resistance, but I don't know if it's really the best idea, but just wondering what you would do for like abs. Weight might be easiest, but if you've not got access to weights, though, what can you do? Is what I'm saying, because I might not always have access to weights. So you have to kind of get creative, is what I'm saying, but yeah. I don't know. Actually, I could have a look on YouTube to see if there's a video. I thought I'd be able to figure it out, but I don't know. There's some like creative kind of things you can do, but I'm gonna have a look and see how you would resistance band workout or something like that. Bear with me a second, guys. then that's something I could show people if I find that resistance band workout abs. They literally come up the first result. Mad that, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I suppose a lot of people are looking for ab workouts. Yeah. Right. So let's have a look. Resistance band ab exercises. Let's have a look at this video. I'm just having a look at, see what you can do with it. Because it's like when you start, like, say, doing the thing with body weight, it's all right up to a certain point, but then pure body weight becomes kind of useless to build any more muscle past that point. Like, it's great what people like Jace is doing, but it's like, if people want to actually build muscle, then, yeah. How's it going, Gravity Core Fitness? You're not going live tonight. I was wondering if you was, like, going live or something, but I guess not. Oh no, these are not the resistance bands that I've got, so I'm just wondering, like, whether there's a way to train abs with it, but with, like, the resistance bands that I've got. Because it's like, it's just that if you're just spamming a bunch of reps of body weight, it's not necessarily going to build a lot of muscle. It's going to be mainly cardio at a certain point, isn't it? Like then you add resistance using weight. Yeah. It's just that what if you've not got access to weights, for example? Because I was thinking, like, with resistance bands are, like, good for, like, traveling and stuff like that, but what if you don't have access to weights and you just kind of, because you might not want to be, like, fucking about going to different gyms and stuff like that all the time. It's just, yeah, I mean, I do like the suitcase thing sometimes, but yeah, I suppose that's the only way I could do it. And you could do, like, plates and stuff, but yeah, it's just if you're traveling, then you want to try and keep it light, though, so yeah, I did a few, like, pistol squats, but yeah, I don't know, it's just, you gotta, there's things that you can do to get creative with the workouts and whatever, but I've seen, like the, what is it, the incline, like, sit-up thing, whatever you call it, like, where you, like, on an incline bench thing, and I think that puts more tension on the abs or something, so, yeah. Anyway, any more questions, guys? Also, slow reps down to 10-second down, 10-second up, time under tension. Yeah, it's just I find that stuff really fucking boring, and just like you, I like kind of fast, more aggressive kind of stuff, really, rather than slow, boring kind of like, yeah. It's like I don't like doing isometric exercises. Yeah, I like doing more explosive, faster reps, and like I like plyometrics and stuff like that. But some say slow reps are better. But the thing is that with slow reps, then it's like if you're using weights, then you can't use as heavy weights if you're doing slow reps, or you can't do as many reps. Because it's all mechanical tension or something, but because if you're doing, let's say, like, I don't know, let's say you're doing a bench with like super slow negatives, where you might be able to do, say, like, I don't know, let's say someone did 60 kilos or whatever, but with like more explosive reps, they might be able to do 80, 90 or 100, because they're not doing the, like, eccentric part of it. But then if you go too
quickly that could become dangerous. So it's more that it's dangerous to do like too heavy, I guess. 'Cause that's where you can get injured. But like, if you're trying to build strength, then you want to go heavy. So yeah, it's just that you're not really going to be building strength properly, at least not total strength. Like, you're building strength through the negative part of it, but if you're wanting to actually get stronger in your total strength. Hello Remy, how you doing? Hope you're well.
Then it's not really, I don't know. But the thing is, if you're trying to get strong, then that comes with its own risks. I mean, yeah, you can do things with good form, but like, even then, just the amount of load that you're using is gonna get to a point of being kind of dangerous. But I don't know. When it comes to weight training, I don't necessarily see the point in super slow negatives, because you could just do like a kind of moderate negative, where you control the weight, but you don't have to go super slow. As long as you're not just throwing it up and down, just pumping loads of reps out just for the sake of it, then because that could be quite dangerous if you're going too fast. And so I think there's a sweet spot, but because if you're doing slow negatives, you're not going to be able to do as many reps, or you're not going to be able to do as much weight at a certain point. But you've got to find what works for you. But anyway, no, you're wrong. You're also building resilience and strength only through the negative part of it, though, because if you have to drop the weight to be able to do slow negatives, then you're not gonna be able to get the same like level of maximal load. Like, it's not gonna translate into a 1 rep max, is it? For example, or even probably a 5 rep max. Like, you're not gonna. I don't think it's like building strength through the negative will only build strength through the negative. It only builds strength through the part of the range of motion that you're, like, for example, doing half reps. It'll only build strength through that part of it. Okay, Uncle Filthy. Wait a sec, I think yeah. But yeah, basically, yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it gets all a bit of a minefield, but the way I understand it is that, like, if you do want to build strength, then it's like, well, there's different types of strength, but if you're wanting to build maximal strength, then doing super slow negatives can actually go against that, because you're going to have to drop the weight, like you said. But maybe that is the best in terms of preventing injury. So it's kind of a trade-off that you get, is what I'm saying. So, because obviously for example, powerlifters are not going to be concerned with slow negatives. Because, yeah, if slow negatives actually built total strength, then it doesn't. So why don't, like, powerlifters do slow negatives? Like, for example, I remember Eddie Hall was like, he never does that. And he was like he was getting trained and saying, oh, you need to slow it down if you're trying to build muscle or something. Because it's supposedly better to do controlled negatives or something, but it builds strength because they only need to lift once. What do you mean? What, you're saying just 1 rep of, like, really controlled or something? I don't know what you're saying. Do you mean like if you do like I don't know, powerlifting is totally different. I was talking about like maximal strength and like how like if you're trying to build strength and like having slow reps is probably not the best for that. So I'm talking like in terms of brute strength. Because a lot of these, I've seen about like how bodybuilders, their 1 rep maxes are quite a bit less than a lot of like strongmen, because they're training their muscles differently. They're training different muscle fibers or something, and because if you're doing a lot of negatives, then that's going to train more slow twitch, right? It's during like if you're explosive positive, where that's going to train fast twitch mainly, and then you're going to get the slow twitch on the way down if you control it. So it can be good for like, you know, getting a mixture of both types. No fast and slow fibers, Jamie, right? Yeah, like but like I say, it all depends on what you're going for. If you want to go for explosive power, then slow negatives would not be good for that. Like it wouldn't be good for, say, like a sprinter or something like that, would it? It wouldn't be good for someone who needs that explosive power. Say someone who does a 100-meter dash or something, or someone who's gonna do a clean and jerk or something, and they require what is it called, rate of force development or whatever. It's kind of like, yeah, some of it does go over my head a little bit, but I'm kind of trying to get to understand some of it, but yeah. Anyway, but I mean, I get what you're saying, but yeah. But yeah, it's just that, like, it all comes down to what you're training for. Like, become a powerful lifter, yes, sprinter runs slow more miles to get faster. I mean, I've heard about, like, people saying run slow to go faster. That, like, doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you want to run slow to get faster? I don't really... It seems a bit counterintuitive. Like, how would you get faster by running slower? Like, you get better at the thing by doing the thing that you want to do, right? Like, how does it build stamina? But it'll only build stamina at the speed that you're running at. Like, so if you're, say, doing a jog at, say, 6 miles per hour for like 10 miles, 20 miles, you would think, well, it's only going to be good for doing that then, and you just get better at doing that. But when it comes to, say, doing 10 miles per hour for, I don't know, 3 miles or something like that, then it's like, how does that work? How does it translate into that then? You need to have, what is it called, intervals or whatever, high intensity intervals. That's what actually builds top speed, from what I understand. That's good. Yeah, I mean, you need aerobic base, but you get aerobic from doing the thing that you're trying to do, right? Like, I don't understand. Like, if you're training for zone 3, zone 4, you're training that zone, right? like if you're going more for like shorter duration, mid distance, then you train for mid distance. You don't train for long distance if you're trying to go fast for mid distance. Like, it just sounds counterintuitive to me, that. I mean, maybe there is something to it, but it doesn't really make any sense. Like, your body will adapt to the thing you're training for, so why would it... Like, if you want to go faster, then you run faster. Like, if you want to get your heart, you want to improve your max heart rate, you run faster. If you want to get faster at running, for a mile, then you run for a mile. You keep doing that. You keep improving at that. What, you're going, okay, well, bye then. Like, I'm just saying it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how does training for a completely different thing just like you training, if you want to train for like running at, like, say, long distances, then let's say you want to train for a middle distance, then you run the middle distance. Like, I don't know why that sort of thing where they say run slower to get faster. Like, I don't know, but I don't want to be like arguing with people and all that. I'm just like, I don't know what you guys think, but like, I'm just saying, it's like if you want to get faster, then you would want to go above that, the lactate threshold, which is going to push your top speed up. Like, if you're focusing more on speed, then that would make sense. So what I'd say I'd do is that, yeah, you would mix in, like, you're kind of like, what I would recommend probably is you do like the distance that you're training for, and you also mix in a few intervals here and there where you go really fast, because that's gonna force your body to adapt. So you're going faster than that, so then your body's forced to go faster. Like, I don't understand, like, how the people can go slower and get faster. Like, if you're not training your VO2 max enough, then you're not gonna. It's like you need a good VO2 max, and doing loads of like endurance work. How is that gonna help that? I don't know. Like I said, muscle twitch fibers and all that, and like, fast twitch is mainly like shorter duration to mid duration. There's different types, but when it comes to long distance, it's primarily going to be slow twitch. Like, if you want to go faster, you need to build fast twitch fibers. Yeah, you want enough slow twitch, but you get that from doing the type of running that you're going for. I don't know. Like, I remember I was trying to argue with someone about this a while ago, and it just didn't make any sense to me. Like, why you would want to go slower. I don't know. Maybe there is something to that, but it just doesn't. It doesn't really add up to me. Like, hello Mirage, how you doing? It doesn't add up to me. Like, do you understand that? How does running slow make you go faster? So I've heard this people saying that about cycling as well. Like, because to me, if you want to go faster, then you want to run faster. Like, you want to do the thing you're training for. I don't understand where people are coming from. Like, like that they, yeah, I don't know, but it's like if I want to get better at, let's say, your speed to run a mile, for example, I would do that by, well, mainly just running a mile, and maybe adding some days where I do intervals if I wanted to do that, where I did really fast for a bit and then slow, fast, slow. But I don't see the point in just doing a run where you're just going slow the whole time. To run fast, you run fast. Yeah, I was just arguing with this Mark, and it's like he didn't seem to, he seemed to be kind of like annoyed or something. I do 100-meter running, and I need to train to run really, really fast. Yeah, I'm talking more like, say, maybe between about 1 to 1, 2, 3 miles, maybe somewhere in that kind of range, like more like mid-distance, where like it requires a certain level of aerobic capacity, and they also need still some degree of fast twitch fibers. So I'm saying, wouldn't you want to train in that zone if that's what you're training for? To me, it doesn't make sense that you would train for something that isn't like if it's being slow, like isn't that going to hold you back? If anything, I don't know. Like, well, I don't really understand. Otherwise, it'll take ages for the run. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there is something to it. I don't know. I'm trying to keep an open mind, but it's like I try to ask like where is the mechanism for that, and it's like, and then they just try and be able kind of like saying, oh, it works. It's like, well, what? How does it work though? I need an explanation. How does running slow make you go faster? Because all it's going to do is it's going to make you in zone 2, and it's like you're training yourself for zone 2 by running slow. If you want to train for zone 3, zone 4, let's say, then wouldn't you want to train in zone 3 and zone 4 primarily, and also train in zone 5 to get that extra VO2 max, so you can get higher things like higher red blood cell count, higher lung capacity, all that, so that you can go faster, more efficiently. So I don't know, but I mean, you could do zone 2 as like recovery in a run. Let's say you're doing interval races, interval runs, where you're doing, let's say, zone 5, and then you drop down to zone 2 to recover. Let's say you do, 10 to maybe 30 seconds in zone 3. Sorry, in zone 5, and then you have a rest for about a minute or two, maybe 3 minutes, and then you go back to zone 5 again. Because what that's going to do is it's going to improve your VO2 max. I think that's probably like so. Yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for slower running, because you need that to be able to recover from the fast runs. But I mean, doing like running just like super slow, I don't, for like the whole duration, I don't see the point in that, because you can build like a certain amount of aerobic capacity from doing intervals, but you also want to do some runs at the speed that you're trying to run for, just to kind of like get a kind of gauge on like where you're at, because you want to know exactly like what kind of speed you're at, and when it comes to those runs. But yeah, doing intervals with like slower bits and then really fast bits in it. Hello, microplastic epidemic. How are you doing? I mean, you could say, well, running slow might. I know some argue about like the whole thing of recovery and all that. That if you do too much like intervals, then that could lead to lactic acid build-up and all that. But you do get better with that over time, and your body will adapt and get more used to it. I'm alright, thank you. I'm just arguing about the whole thing of people saying that in order to run fast, you need to run slow. Well, I'm like, how does that even work? I'm just trying to I'm not trying to argue with people. I'm just I'm curious, how does that even work? Because to my knowledge, in order to get faster, you want to, it's yeah, I mean, run slow at times, but you also want to add in, fuck's sake, just knock my glass over. Interval training is one of the best things you can really do for it. But I would also say run at the speed that you're trying to run for. Let's say what you're training for is zone 3, then some days you would train at zone 3 for the distance that you're going for, and then on some days you would train, let's say you would go zone 5 for 10 seconds, and then have a minute rest at zone 2, where you're maybe only running at 6 miles per hour, and then let's say you're going all out at say 15 miles per hour at zone 5. Then you're basically, so it's the zone 2 would just be there as the recovery from the really, really intense stuff, because it's the really intense stuff's going to actually make you faster. That's the stuff that's going to build top speed, but you also need some aerobic capacity. Yeah, I agree. So you're going to need to do, like I said, you do zone 3 at the speed that you're trying to run for, because you don't need any more endurance than that. So you don't need to be going on mega long runs at really low speeds. It's just, I don't know, that would not make sense for me, but yeah, it's just, I don't understand how running slow can make you faster, but maybe I'm missing something here. I mean, I suppose running zone 2 and then zone 5, it might make you a little bit slower on those particular runs, but then on other days you would try and run at the speed that you're trying to run at for the race or whatever you're trying to run for, because then you kind of get a gauge of where you're at. At least once a week, I'd say, if you're trying to run the speed that you're trying to run for. Then on other days you would do intervals where you'd run really fast, and then you would slow down and have a recovery. So I don't know. It's just, I'm not an expert, but that's what would make sense to me. If someone could explain to me where I'm wrong, then okay. But if you want to get faster, you're going to have to run really, really fast. And then, yeah, you're going to have moments where you catch, what is it? You can just recover, and then, but it's it's just, I don't know. It's just with this whole, run slow to run faster, it's the thing is, if there is studies on it, are they well done? This is the thing. It's you can make a study about anything and get some result and be like, oh, look what we found in this study. But oftentimes they miss out important details. So I kind of take studies with a grain of salt. It's just, I'd rather go by my own experience and my own kind of discernment, my own logic, because it just doesn't seem intuitive that you would run faster by doing these long ass slow runs that are, yeah, I don't, it's why would you want to run a marathon so you can run a faster mile? Does that make sense? If you want to run a mile faster, then you want to get good at running a mile by primarily doing that. That your body needs to get used to actually training that way, add in a few interval days here and there as well, so you can improve your VO2 max. Because your body needs to get used to like coordinating at that speed and kind of like getting into a certain rhythm at a certain speed. By constantly just training at a lower speed, it's like your body kind of just gets used to training that way. So I don't know. It's just that's what would make sense to me. That as long as you're not burning yourself out, because someone might do a lot of days where they're like training really, really hard. Let's say they're doing every single day. They're doing like really fast runs, and they're like burning themselves out. So the thing is, that could be what's causing it. That could be what's causing them to get worse results, because they're not giving their body a chance to recover. Maybe the slow run days might be, I don't know, like that might be the recovery day or something, but I don't know. But I don't necessarily think that it's going to make you faster. Sometimes it's better to just have a recovery day. Maybe just go for a walk or something. I don't know. Is it really necessary to run slow to run faster? Is it actually making you faster, or is it just kind of like what people would call in the gym junk volume? Like, because that's what makes kind of sense to me. The thing is, your body can't keep on running at a certain intensity for too much time, because you're going to be like, burning a lot of lactic acid and all that. So, but it would be good to have some like intervals stuff in there, with like some days where you're running at like the intensity that you're training for, in my opinion. But it's just I want to learn, I want to understand where this whole kind of notions come from. Because I was arguing with someone with this a while ago, and then I was just arguing with it again. But like doing steady state for like, I don't know, let's say zone 2. Like some people even just barely doing zone 2. They're just kind of 6 miles per hour, maybe even 5 miles per hour, and they're just going for like 10 mile, 20 mile or marathon runs. I don't know if that really makes you go faster, or like I said, is it just that you're on those days you're getting more chance to recover? If people switched out really hard runs for like, because on the like more kind of gentler runs where you're not going above lactate threshold, then it's almost like a rest day. So it could be that you would think pushing yourself more and more each run would increase speed over time, yeah. But this is where intervals would come in, because they push your lactate threshold up. Because if you go above your lactate threshold on some of your workouts, then that would kind of make sense. But it's just, I don't know. It's just my kind of understanding of it. But I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not like trying to make out like I know everything, and it's like people are acting funny with me, being all like, oh, like, you're wrong and all this, and it's like I'm not being like, it's just not being offensive. This is all wrong. So like, I'm just saying that, like, well, I don't know. I don't know like why you would need to do slow runs at like, it's like, wouldn't you run at the speed that you're training for? I don't know, like, maybe I'm wrong there. It's just, it just doesn't really add up to me, like, how running slow would equate to improved running speed on it's like you take let's say they do interval training where they run hard for a little bit and then soft, but then they run soft most of the time. Like, I don't know. It's like if you're training for zone 3, zone 4, then I don't know. Like I think I don't know. I'm not, but it's just it's all a bit of a confusion to me. Really, it just sounds counterintuitive. Is what I'm saying. Like if you run slow, then you're not you're not pushing your body as hard as you could be. But I don't know. It's just it is what it is. I mean, you could argue about the recovery aspect of things, and like that you need to do some slower runs for recovering from all the lactate buildup or whatever. Let's say if you're in zone 3 or zone 4, you're just above that lactate threshold. And yeah, that's going to kind of be a bit I don't know, like you could argue about like aerobic base and all that. But if you're running at zone 2, then are you actually going as hard as you could be? Because it's hard to really know like at what point are you going into zone 3? Like you'd have to kind of, it's like ideally you'd probably want to be like teetering on the edge of like where it's kind of, if you try not to like go above lactate threshold, then you need to know exactly where that is. Otherwise, it would be like thinking that walking's gonna improve your aerobic capacity or something, or just doing a brisk walk. At what point is it useless, kind of thing? At what point is running any slower gonna just become useless for like your training if you're trying to get fast? At what point does it's like you have to be in a certain sweet spot or something? I don't know. Hello, Rebecca. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but it's just this whole idea of running slow to get fast. It just sounds really kind of counterintuitive, but you do need to run fast at times, at least anyway. High intensity interval training. That's what's going to make you faster, at least for short durations. But I agree you need like the aerobic capacity. But the problem, if you're running slow, then you can be you don't exactly know where your lactate threshold is, which can make it a bit kind of yeah. If you're not going that hard, then you're sort of you could be like leaving some on the table kind of thing. I don't know, but it's just all a bit something that I don't really fully understand. I'll admit. But I was arguing with Mark about this before, and it's like, I'm alright, thank you, how are you doing? But I would just think it makes more sense to run at the speed most of the time that you're training for. But I don't know, if you're training to be fast at 5k, then would it not make sense to be primarily training for that with some intervals in there to push your VO2 max up? Because some might say just training at that speed won't actually make you faster over time because it's not pushing your VO2 max up. But training at slow speeds, like for long distances, is that going to actually benefit doing moderate distances for like at a higher speed. Hello Nicola, how you doing? Oh, you did a squat challenge, so what was that about, a squat challenge? It's just like that certain types of running are gonna, sort of build certain kind of what's it called, adaptations. So running super fast, that's gonna build basically it's gonna build your VO2 max. So if you're doing like some sprint intervals, that's going to build up your VO2 max, and going for like slower runs is for endurance. But if you're going for moderate distance, then you don't need huge amounts of endurance. So I don't know. Is it really necessary, is what I'm saying. I don't know. It's just oh yeah, well done. Yeah, well done, Rebecca. Was that 200? Do you mean 20 squats per round or something? Was it, or what? How does that? What do you mean? So I don't know. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I mean, I've heard that whole thing of like running slow most of the time is good, but I'm like, if you're running too slow, then that can just kind of make you like a lazy runner or something. Hello, Emilio. Because at what point does it become useless? Because would walking be good for it then, or a light jog? At what point does running actually become kind of running slower actually become actually counterproductive? I mean, you could say I'm getting quite pedantic here, but at what point in zone 2 or whatever is it the sweet spot? I'd say if you're going to do that, then the upper end might be where the sweet spot is. I don't know. Which might be for like an athlete. It might be freaking 8-9 miles per hour, even 10 miles per hour. Because they're really, really fit. Like if you're doing a marathon, some of these people are doing like 13 miles per hour. And if they're doing marathons, they can't really be going much above the lactate threshold. They're probably maintaining like the upper end of like zone 2 like the whole time. Perhaps they're teetering on the edge of zone 2 and zone 3. So I would say it probably makes sense to be running around that kind of speed where you're kind of right on the edge of like your aerobic capacity, to where you're going into lactate. Because if you're going slower, then would it not make sense that you're just going to be like, I don't know, if you're going below whatever you're capable of, then you're just going to be leaving, kind of like gains on the table, if you will. Kind of like if you're at the gym and you're just kind of fucking about, you're not going to failure, you're just kind of, I don't know, like. But what I was thinking is that the people who benefit from running slower are those that were probably burning themselves out because they were running fast all the time, and maybe they did get too much of the lactate build up or something, and that could have been not just all about speed. All right, it's just but if you're going for moderate distance, then you only need a certain amount of endurance. Like if you're training for moderate distance with a high speed, then going slow for hours, what is the point of that? Yeah, I tend to run slow so I can progress more and run further distance. If that's what your goals are, then yeah, that makes sense. It helps utilize oxygen more effective, which helps you to sustain a fast pace for long distance. That's high intensity interval training. That's what builds your VO2 max up. Because you have to go faster than your aerobic capacity in order to get that, I think. Like, so you go in to where you feel that burn, like you're pretty much sprinting. That's gonna, it's called high intensity interval training. That's what builds speed. So yeah, that's like you push yourself harder, and if you want to get endurance, then you train for endurance. So I mean, it's just anyway, take. So if you're wanting to run for a marathon, then you run marathons mostly, and then you also do some intervals. If you want to run a mile, then you run a mile. You kind of like you try and run that mile as fast as you can. I mean, I don't understand, like, you just said how does it help going slow? But going slow is just going to, like, you're not challenging your heart enough and your lungs. And you're also not contracting the muscles as frequently, so you're not producing as much force. So then the body doesn't need to adapt to that speed. It will adapt to become more endurance, but at that speed. So if you're running at, let's say you're just doing a kind of a jog at 6 miles per hour, and you could keep that up for probably 10 miles, let's say. But how is that going to help you get faster at running a mile at 10 miles per hour? That's what I'm saying, like, I don't know, like, I understood is that you get faster by going, like, extremely fast for a short period of time, and then you go slow for a period of time. So then the body is forced to adapt to the stresses that you put on it. Like, running in zone 2 is not really stressful to the body. If you're within if you're within aerobic capacity, then the body has no real need to get fitter. Like, it's like saying that walking briskly is going to somehow improve your aerobic capacity. At what point does it stop improving it? Like, at what point does, okay, well, it's no use at this point? Because then there's a fine line between where it's going to work and where it's not going to work then, right? If you're going to, you'd have to find that speed to run at that is going to actually be beneficial then. Like, if you're, is a 4 or 5 miles an hour jog something still going to be beneficial? Then at what point is a walk still beneficial then, or you build up to it? What do you mean? Like, are you talking about the slow runs get faster or something? I'm just saying I don't understand how it translates into running faster when it comes to it. Because wouldn't it make sense to be able to actually improve the running form at the speed that you're trying to go for, trying to improve that technique and like, because when it comes to running faster, then it's kind of like it's a bit different, isn't it? Like, for example, if someone's sprinting versus someone running longer distances, there's like conditioning is different and all that. So, yeah. So I would just think that like running at that distance primarily would have been the better option, but like I said, maybe I'm wrong. It's just I'm not trying to say I know everything. I'm trying to understand like where people are coming from when they're saying run slow to run faster. Because to me it sounds like someone saying eating less will make you fatter. I mean, in some cases that can actually be true. If you deprive yourself, then your metabolism can slow down, and then you put on weight as a compensatory mechanism or something. But like the saying, you can't run before you can walk. You are wrong. What you mean? Wrong about what? So like. I'm just talking about someone that can already run fast. Like, maybe it's a bit kind of misunderstood what I'm trying to say. Like, if you can already run fast, then like, would it still make sense to run slow then or something? What? If say you're already like an athlete, let's say, and you're training to like run for a marathon, or then you would run slower than marathon pace. I mean, like what would be like the point of that? Is it just like because it's very like more to do with like the recovery aspect of things? If you're running marathons all the time, or you're running any kind of distance all the time flat out, then it can be quite hard on the joints and hard on the muscles as well, all the constant tension. So I could understand it from that angle, I guess, that like, because maybe like a slow run would be more like a recovery day or something. Kind of like if someone, instead of like lifting really heavy weights one day, they have to recover. So they just kind of, they take it a little bit easier, but sometimes they might still practice the technique and all that on the other days. They started slow to get to that level of speed. Right. I don't know, it's just, I think maybe I misunderstood a lot of things, and people were kind of, yeah. I don't know, but yeah. Obviously you can only go so fast at the start, and it's, your recovery is not going to be great. Like you're going to be like kind of burning yourself out, like, and you're just going to, because let's say you go too fast and then you end up kind of like, basically you can't move for days, especially when you first start. You're like, it's like if someone goes really hard at the gym at the beginning and then they set themselves back, they can't even train for like a week or something, because it's like there's no point in doing that. So I could kind of understand that it would be good to like probably just not be going at your full like power all the time, because it's just gonna like make you. It's probably to set you back, where it's like your muscles aren't able to recover, and your joints as well. You might have like, you end up with shin splints and things like that. That's why you train slow. Yeah, you would still need to have times when you train fast though, is what I'm saying. You would need intervals to make you faster. You know, you don't have to do that a lot, but some might say like at least once a week. You would do, let's say you do like, I don't know, let's say you do a couple of miles where you do like a few really quick bursts in there. Like, go as fast as you can. If you don't do it too much, then you can recover from it, but yeah, but your body needs that to build that power up. So I guess we're kind of like, we've kind of come to an agreement there where it's like, just training slow isn't going to work, but also trying to push yourself to your limits all the time is also going to end up just breaking yourself down. And what do you mean, not if you train properly? What are you saying? It all comes down to what are you able to recover from. But yeah, if you're a beginner, then training at like too hard, too quickly and all that, I can understand, like, if you're a complete beginner. I guess it's because like a lot of the advice is for like complete beginners and not like more advanced like athletes and stuff, where maybe they're if they've already got a good amount of aerobic capacity, then they've got like that base to keep pushing themselves, and they've also got better recovery capacity. So what you could do, say, like, is run it like at either round the kind of speed that you're trying to go for, or maybe slightly below that. What you would do is, let's say doing, I don't know, let's say doing 2 miles, 3 miles, whatever. Let's say you run it, I don't know, like 8 miles per hour, up until very close to the end. Then right at the very end, you go as hard as you possibly can, right at the end. That might be a way to like get the best of like the VO2 max on some days, like where you go slightly below what you possibly can, and then right at the very end, you go as absolutely flat out. Because you're at the end, you're going to be like, okay, I'm near the end now, I'm just going to absolutely just like go. If you can do it, then that was a way to push your VO2 max up, I would have thought. Yeah, I get what you're saying about don't run before you can walk. But like, yeah, I think it's because I'm like talking from my own experiences and stuff. Like I can, yeah. Actually, I shouldn't be running up and down at the moment because the neighbours weren't too happy about it, apparently. So yeah. Anyway, but I tend to like just doing sprints and stuff like that. So it's just like maybe it's from my own biases. I don't know, that I just don't really like long ass fucking runs that just doing kind of just jogging pace. I just find that quite boring. Hello Ronnie, how you doing? Okay, thank you. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's just because I find like where it's kind of like, I don't know, this kind of where it's like sort of between kind of jogging and running. It's like you kind of just feel like you kind of, if I want to just kind of go slow, then I'll just walk, if I want to go really fast, then I'm gonna go flat out. Like, I don't want to be like fucking about with slow runs. Like, I find that would be just kind of, it just doesn't feel challenging to me at all. It just, I don't know. Like, if I want to challenge myself, I want to train, I want to actually go as hard as I possibly can, but like, yeah, if you're a beginner, then it's not a good idea because you could be doing yourself damage. So, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it's just but like, yeah, if you say like run towards, like, say you do zone 2, kind of like almost zone 3, where you're just kind of on that kind of edge of lactate threshold, so you're not really kind of like going to be burning any lactic acid. And then if you find that you can, at that pace, and you can sprint the very end of it, that's probably that'll be good, because you're going to push your heart rate up, and that's, hopefully that would improve your VO2 max. So maybe even just jogging and then sprinting at the very end, if you're a beginner. Like, if you've been jogging for a while, then you've probably warmed yourself up to do a sprint. But it's just, I think adding sprints in is important if you're trying to build your speed up. But maybe if you're a total beginner, then it might not be that necessary. Maybe it's because if you're beyond a certain point, then sprints become a important thing. Although it's Christine, though, maybe it becomes more important to go above your threshold after you've gone through like to intermediate to advanced. I don't know. So I've understood that getting to, let's say, like your max heart rate, or towards your max heart rate, is important for max output. At least going above the lactate threshold would be important, because then that sends a signal, okay, we need to produce more things like capillaries and things like that to get faster, and so that we can go at that same speed, but we can go faster whilst not going above lactate threshold. So it's all a bit of a, yeah, it's all a bit, sounds a bit complicated, but yeah, so it's like, yeah, if you're a beginner, yeah, just jog is going to be good for your aerobic capacity. As you get more advanced, then yeah, you want to add some intervals. It will help you to, you're going to get some of the, you'll get some, if you're going for like middle distance, then you do want to push yourself a little bit beyond that. So, but yeah, it's like the type of training you do will be like dependent on the type of running that you're doing. It's like, for example, if you're, I mean, some people might think that, like doing hill sprints might be good as well for doing flat sprints, because you're putting your body through resistance. So then that might be forcing the body to adapt to become more powerful, to be able to overcome the resistance, the natural like resistance of the hill. Or you could even do weighted sprints as well, like say, for example, you would add like a weighted vest on, so you can make yourself go fast. That can make yourself go faster. And there's this thing to be said that that just training to do sprints would only take you so far, because then the body's going to be like, oh well, you know, we're getting pretty good with this now. But then when you add in some adversity, that, like, for example, adding extra weight, then your body's like, okay, well, we need to get, you know, like, stronger or something. We need to, like, yeah, so because it's like you're putting resistance there. So yeah, I don't know what you guys think, but you'll see, like, for example, like your sprinters, they do a lot of, even like swimmers apparently, they do a lot of weight training. So they don't just do the swimming or something, because, like I said, like once the body gets pretty good at doing that thing, then you have to push your body beyond in some other way. Like, for example, if you want to get, it might even make sense, say, for example, if you're wanting to get a greater jump height to be able to slam dunk, that you could do it with resistance, and that would force your body to become more powerful to overcome the resistance. So I don't know if that would help, but there's a theory that would. Run slow with leg weights help strengthen your legs faster. Yeah. You can just do, like, well, any kind of, like, resistance if it's making your body heavier, and you can, like, if you're going for, that's more for sprinting, but it'll probably work for any kind of running, actually, maybe, because it's forcing your body to adapt and get stronger. So, because even like marathon runners, I think, well, they do a lot of like conditioning stuff, so that can be good for like making the bones stronger. So yeah. So they'll do like things such as like, also things like calf raises to kind of like isolate the calves so that they can make them stronger. You'll see them do a lot of like calf raises, calf press, stuff like that, because they can actually be good for giving you strong calves. Because the problem is, like, the calves can be what gives out, because all that constant impact is like what they call eccentric load, and that's all that pressure going into the calves. And this could be why a lot of them get like shin splints and stuff. And you want to strengthen your calves if you're wanting to do, especially for like long distance running. So that's good to do things like that. And also you want a strong core, because your core is carrying your body the whole way. And I think they found that like weak cores, I remember watching a video that weak core will slow you down or something, because because it can start to affect your posture and all that, and you might not be running with as good form, and techniques are a bit off, and so having good core strength can be good for that. So I don't know why I've been like this tonight, why I've been kind of, I don't know, I guess sometimes I like to play devil's advocate with things, and I'm not meaning to like argue with people, it's just sometimes I like to be kind of like inquisitive and challenge people's views on things and try to understand where they're coming from. It's important for us all to understand each other's points of view, because otherwise we're like just oh yeah, I thought that you like fell out with me or something, Batgirl, if you're still there, because so I came to the lies and then you weren't saying anything. I was like, okay, I guess she doesn't want to talk to you. I think because I thought, oh, maybe it's something because I made a silly joke about you and Jace or something. That was it, something about because you was meant to be going on Jace's live or something, and I was like, oh, like, he's saying about, you know, like doing, was it something about like, not Jace's live or whatever, or doing a workout with you or something, it's like, and then I said something about him going on a date with you or something like that, and I'm like, I don't know if did he like take offence at that, because he was like telling me to grow up or something, and like, but it's all just like, you know, it's all just banter, and you know, it's not like, it's not meant to be taken seriously. It's just, I like to just have fun and just, yeah. Sometimes I'm doing stuff but listening, right? Yeah, it's just that, like, because I was on the chat and then you would say hi to everyone else, and I was like, it seemed like you was ignoring me, so that's just, I didn't want to, like, cause any, like, drama in the chats and be like, oh, is that Batgirl ignoring me or something? And I was like, because I hadn't seen you around for a while, and I was like, and you were just kind of ignoring me, and, well, it seemed seemingly ignoring me, so I was like, yeah, so I just thought, like, oh, maybe she's, like, really got offended at that or something, because there is people online that get offended at things like that, and then they just kind of, like, hold a grudge, but at least you're not, like, doing that, because, yeah, I was just a bit bothered that maybe I had, like, offended you or something, but so that wasn't the intention, it was just, yeah. Yeah, I know I do, like, overthink a lot, and, because, like, sometimes I'll, like, try and, like, put 2 and 2 together and then get 5, you know, it's just, that happens a lot where it's like you'll see, like, things happen where it's like, oh, so I said this to this person, then this person acted a certain way that makes me think that they don't like me or something like that, but maybe it's just a coincidence or something, so we have to kind of, anyway, I'm going to do some more stuff, I guess. I've just been walking around just kind of aimlessly, and I'm like, alright, here we go. It just started off tonight with me arguing about, like, strength training, and, like, if you're training for, like, brute strength, then you train like a strongman. Like, the building muscle isn't, like, necessarily gonna give you, I mean, the thing is, it can be safer to train with slow negatives, but how slow is the question, and because I saw, like, this video on it, and they were saying how even a 1 second negative would be enough. I think they found anything from about 1 to 8 seconds would be adequate for building muscle, as long as you're not just, like, straight up and down. As long as, like, you can do straight, just really fast up, and then, like, you know, a little bit slower on the way down or something, but I don't think you have to be doing crazy slow reps, is what I was saying. Like, as long as you're using, like, adequate weight, and it's mainly about, like, taking it to failure or close to failure is gonna build the most amount of muscle. Like, people get so kind of caught up in, like, technicalities. Oh, how slow should I do it? Oh, it has to be at least twice as slow as the positive or some crap. It's like, turns out that a lot of that's kind of crap. And it's just that, like, if you're spending a lot of time in the negative portion where you're the strongest, then you're not going to be building as much strength in the portion where you're the weakest. Like, if you're trying to get stronger in the weakest part of the lift, then you would primarily focus on that. But if you want to get stronger in the negative, then you would do things like negative push-ups, where you're doing, like, really slow negatives and then an explosive positive. Everyone trains different. Yeah, hello Kayla, hello Shannon, good to see you guys. Everyone's not your enemy. Yeah, no, sometimes I get kind of like, I don't know, it's just, yeah, sometimes like I have to kind of take a break from the online shit because I start to get kind of like, it just starts to get kind of like the whole familiarity breeds contempt thing, you know? What time are we on now? Fuck me, it's 20 past 10. Yeah, anyway. Well, we got 14 likes, so that's not too bad. But yeah, everyone's got their own preferences. If you like really slow negatives and that's what you're like to do, then I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. If it works for you, great. But it's just that they've got all these fucking like, you know, science-based lifters saying this and that, and it's like a lot of them even like debunk their own arguments or whatever, and it's like you get people like Mike Israetel, that used to be very much saying that slow negatives were important for building muscle, but it turns out that it really isn't the case. Like, because the thing is, you get like sprinters, for example, look at their physiques. They're mainly training fast. You know, they're obviously they have to have some slow twitch muscle fibers there as well, but they have to train a lot for the fast twitch muscle fibers, and then that's gonna that's gonna build up the fast twitch muscle fibers. So depending on how you train, you're gonna build different types of muscle. So if explosivity is your goal, then slow negatives do not really make much sense. You would try to train kind of like explosively with like kind of probably like moderate rep ranges. Not like too low reps, because then that can be dangerous. You train whatever's right for you. But it also comes down to what you know, if you're into a certain sport or whatever. But like, it's just when people try to say one size fits all, I just don't like that kind of thing. But then again, I was talking about, you know, running slow to get faster and all that. And I mean, it's like, I understand that could be the case, but I was also saying that what if the studies are kind of on that are kind of not reliable? For example, if it's taken into account that those days could be recovery days, but then again, maybe that would be better than doing nothing on those days. If you're going slower on certain days and then going faster on other days, so like. But so I've heard about, you know, kind of like mixing up your training where you do most of it slow and then with some interval training as well. But you can do different things. Like, you can even do things like circuit training is a good one as well, and that's going to build some strength as well. You're gonna, like, you see some people doing that and they're sweating their balls off. That can be good for building, you know, like your aerobic capacity up, whilst also training your anaerobic capacity. So doing things like, you know, say like you do like squats, and then say you do a few squats, and then what you do is you then just like, and then you like thrust the weight over your head and do a bunch of reps of that. That's kind of like the circuit training style, and then you could do barbell rows or something. You just kind of like keep switching it up, and some argue it's not very good for building muscle, but you can, if you don't just like, kind of just do a few reps and then you're, oh, I'm starting to get a bit sore now, I'm going to switch up, and then you have to obviously be going really hard, but you might want to like have a bit of, you know, time between each set. It's kind of like doing supersets, so you're kind of doing like one exercise and then pretty much straight into another, but maybe like a 20-second break might be good. If you go straight from one into another, that might be, for some people, too intense, and it will just make you sweat like crazy. Perseverance. You think about running. I used to do some running, but I really don't like it, to be honest. I mean, I like it for like short durations. Like, I mean, I could do it now, but I'm like, yeah, not right now. Because it's just that I've had complaints about noise running around and stuff, but because I could do like run up and down the stairs. That's a good one that you could do, because you're getting, like I said, the natural resistance. You can build some strength up doing that. But I'll do things like jumping jacks. So I managed to get it up to like doing. What I'm trying to do is 100 per round. So like I'll do, say, 100 jumping jacks. How fast can I do that? I've now got it down to like 1 minute 15. So my goal is to get it down to 1 minute. That's what I'm trying to do. So the question is, should I just keep doing it that way? Will that, you know, improve by, you know, or should I add into? Actually, you don't really need to do that, because I'm probably already above lactate threshold. So like if it's only like going on for like a minute or so, then you're in anaerobic kind of territory. Hello, Anton, how you doing? Like if you're doing like the shorter duration stuff, then like, I'm already pushing my aerobic capacity up by doing that. So yeah, you could just say do 100 jumping jacks in a row. I'm not doing it now because I'll probably get kicked out of this place. But I might try it at the park at some point. And yeah, just I mean, star jumps would be good as well, but yeah, I wouldn't be able to do as many of those, because that's where you add the squat in, and chances are I could maybe do 40 to 50 in a minute, but I haven't counted them. But I've done squats before, like as a challenge, where I would do as many as I could, and that was like 225 non-stop. So yeah, maybe someone could see if they can beat that score. But yeah, it's just it's good to challenge yourself different ways. I mainly just do things like calisthenics and stuff like that at the moment. I do bands and stuff. So I'll just like train just to try and kind of get fit generally, and like, yeah, just hang on a second. So I've got this like suitcase here, you know, I could use that as my, it's got a thing in there, it's just like, just use the handle on it, but then it could just break if I keep doing it, so shouldn't do that too much, but so you could, and don't do this at home. You got a bike? Yeah. I might be going on it again soon, actually. Because somebody might some bike rides. But the thing with biking is that it's mainly lower body. I was looking into a bike that you can train your whole body with it, but I'm not sure if it's really safe. But basically, it's where your handle, instead of you're having the handlebars, you would have like, there would be like your pedals for your hands, which sounds a bit weird, but yeah. So you literally can pedal it both with your hands and feet at the same time. It's said to maybe like improve your speed by about 30%. But the thing is though, you might end up like burning yourself out due to it is going to be quite challenging. And if you're going really fast on that, it ends up probably, you're going to end up like with but it could actually improve your VO2 max better. So I don't know, maybe it'd be good for these cyclists to actually train with one of those type of bikes as well, because they'd be getting the VO2. Maybe, I don't know. Actually, maybe it wouldn't really matter with the VO2 max, because if they're only like using their legs, then like they only need a certain amount of oxygen for that. They only need the oxygen in their legs. The upper body doesn't really matter. Or you use your upper body a little bit, because especially like when you're going up hills, like your abs come into it a bit more, and you'll start seeing them kind of like doing this kind of stuff. They're kind of like, yeah, almost like they're kind of rocking to some music or something. It's like, yeah, you'll see them like kind of rocking about, like kind of. So there is a bit of upper body engagement, but like in order to maximize it, there was one of these bikes that would actually improve that more. But question is it really worth it? So anyway, I'm gonna get going, guys. I'll see you all later. Peace out. Bye.